You were caught in a dance, you were lost in the trance of another Arabian night. Arabian night, like Arabian days. More often than not, our hearts are then hot in a lot of clear eyes. You were caught.
What's good? Let's get some round of applause up in here. A little bit more. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Get some good shots. Good shots up in here. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Fast Franko podcast. My solo dolo, boy. Well, I spent half an hour just wasting y'all fucking time. I thought I could only do this on Friday, but it turns out I can do this on Saturday, anytime I got some downtime. You feel me? So, you're going to be spending the next little half hour here with me while I go over just random shit that I find interesting on the internet. Thank you for being a part of my boring existence. Those who decide to tune in. How is everybody doing on this Saturday evening? What constitutes it being the evening? Is it evening? I feel like evening. Saturday evening. When does afternoon stop and evening start? Is it 6 or is it 8 o'clock? I think most people feel like the evening started around 8. So this might still be technically afternoon where I am. Definitely where some of y'all is. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and, what I want to jump into first. Let's see. Well, let's kick this shit off right. Oh, man, I did that. Not for, where the fuck? Oh, my God. Hold on, y'all. Where is it? That's not it. No. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm ready. All right, we're going to start off with this.
A teacher asks grade 4 students, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Little Johnny raises his hand, but teacher avoid him and let Paul answer. "I want to be a pilot because I like to see things from above," says Paul. Again, little Johnny raises his hand and the teacher ignores him again. "And what about you, Jack?" "I want to be a history teacher because I like the ancient pharaohs," says Jack. Again, little Johnny raises his hand, and the teacher upset says, "What about you, Johnny?" Little Johnny says, "I want to be a billionaire. Going to the most expensive clubs. Take the best bitch with me. Give her a Ferrari worth over $1 million. An apartment in Hawaii. A mansion in Paris. A jet to travel through Europe. An infinite Visa card, and to make love to her 3 times a day." The teacher, shocked, and not knowing what to do with the bad behavior of the child, decides not to give importance to what he said, and then continues the lesson. "And you, April?" the teacher asked. April says, "I want to be Johnny's bitch."
Here's the lesson that I learned from that, all right? Little Johnny's going to grow up to be better than all of you. You fucking pieces of shit. How dare you not acknowledge me? I'm going to grow up and make twice your salary. I'm going to come here and bite this school and fire you. How dare you? That shit was lit. I don't give a fuck. Oh, shit. When I heard that shit was fucking hilarious. Oh, man. Hold on. All right, we got one more. Then we go jump into, like, some real, like, stories and shit. Hold on.
A joke to tell anyone. A lost dog strays into a jungle. A lion sees this from a distance and says with caution, "This guy looks edible. Never seen his kind before." So the lion starts rushing towards the dog with menace. The dog notices and starts to panic, but as he's about to run, he sees some bones next to him and gets an idea and says loudly, "That was some good lion meat." The lion abruptly stops and says, "Whoa, this guy seems tougher than he looks. I better leave while I can." Over by the treetop, a monkey witnessed everything. Evidently, the monkey realizes that he can benefit from this situation by telling the lion and getting something in return. So the monkey proceeds to tell the lion what really happened, and the lion says angrily, "Get on my back, we'll get him together." So they start rushing back to the dog. The dog sees them and realized what happened and starts to panic even more. He then gets another idea and shouts, "Where the hell is that monkey? I told him to bring me another lion an hour ago."
Yes. Always, first of all, always be aware of your surroundings. Second of all, always be quick on your feet. You got to be able to think good and fast in terrible situations. And lesson number 3, just be afraid that snitches is everywhere. If you learn nothing else from that story you just heard, just be afraid that snitches are everywhere. They are lying in wait, waiting for you to fuck up. All right. Let's just put that out there. All right. Snitches is everywhere. It sounds fucked. Okay. The lesson is snitches is everywhere, and they are out for their own self gratification. Like the monkey saw that shit, and he could have just let that shit rock as a funny situation. No, he wanted to benefit, and now he gonna suffer from the smarter being and shit. I like this story. I would teach this story a lot. Fucking haters. All right, let's get into the main meat of the show. All right, this first story is fucked up. Okay, well, it's not fucked up. It's more so, well, depending on how you look at it. One side it could be fucked up. The other side is just like purely petty. So you let me know how you feel.
I bought my cheating ex-fiance's dream house as a wedding present. She was shocked and is begging to live with me. 10 years ago, my fiance left me a few weeks before our wedding. We grew up in a small town. We were friends and went to the same school, but we never were in the same clique. She was one of the popular kids and I wasn't. A few years after college, I moved back home when my dad got sick and I found a job in my field about 45 minutes away from home. I would help take my dad to his chemo appointments, and it was during one of those appointments I ran into her. She was now a worker at the hospital. One day while waiting, I asked her out. It turned out we shared a lot of the same interests, so our relationship went great. About a year into dating her, I moved into a rented house so we could live together, and then the following year, I proposed. We began looking for a house, but she always wanted to live in her grandparents' house on the lake near our town. Her family was forced to sell the house when her grandparents died because of an inheritance dispute. 6 months before our wedding, a chance event happened. The couple who bought her grandparents' lake house had grown tired of our snowy winters. It took some work and nearly all of my savings, but I was able to buy her dream house. It was going to be my surprise wedding present, so I didn't dare tell her or anyone in her family my plans. A month before our wedding, she and her friends went to Miami for her bachelorette party. I am not sure all of what happened there. Part of me doesn't want to know, but I do know her high school ex-boyfriend was there. When she got back from the trip, she broke down and confessed she was afraid to get married and wanted to call it off. It was a mess. She later moved to Florida and eventually married her high school boyfriend. I ended up moving back to the city for an amazing job. In the meantime, I still had the lake house, and with the help of my parents, we started to fix up the lake house. It took a few years. My mom and dad would look after the contractors while I was in the city. Having the house was perfect when everything was locked down because I could escape the city and work remotely from the lake house. I now live here full time and work remotely. Then this summer we had the 4th of July at the lake house. My sister-in-law used photos from the lake this summer in her Christmas card, and one of those cards made it to my ex's cousin. The cousin recognized the house. The Saturday before New Year's, ex's mother and sister were at my front door. After pleasantries and answering their initial questions, they made an offer to buy it, but I refused and they were not happy. A few days I got a call from ex, and this was the first time in about 9 years she had talked with me. She called me an SS for keeping this from her. But what made me was when she asked when she could move in. I asked, "What do you mean by that?" She paused and said, "I know this is just your way of telling me that you are still in love with me. I am just making it easier for you. No need for the chase." I was in absolute shock, but I commended her audacity for thinking such. I told her, "We currently don't need a housekeeper, but I'll save your number," and hung up.
We don't need a housekeeper. Bitch, fuck you. Okay? How? That's funny. Like, how self-absorbed do you have to be? After 9 years, ma'am, fuck you and your family. Okay? Some people ain't that, like, emotionally mature. Like, fucking, girl, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. Fuck your family. everybody you love. Because how the fuck? And then after 9 years, you think you can just call? You think you just call me up and just be like, when I'm gonna move in? When can I move in? Who the fuck are you talking to, ma'am? Okay, first of all, to be honest, if your mama and them wouldn't have showed up, I had forgotten you existed. Okay, I thought you died. At least you did my heart. So what the fuck makes you think that you can just show up at my crib and just fucking? Yes, I know this is your dream house. This is your family house. Okay, I get the emotional significance of it. That's why I bought it for you before you decided to end our engagement and break my heart because you was on some fuck shit. But now this is my house. So I'm going to live here in my pettiness. Fuck you 2 times. Matter of fact, I'm a fuck hella bitches in the bedroom that you used to sleep in. And then, yeah, just like that. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this dude ain't petty enough. Okay, he bought the house on some romantic shit before she called it off. Lucky for him, he didn't tell her about the house. That's the good shit. Keep your cards close to your vest until you actually need them. But you broke up with me, and then you try to come back when you see I got your dream house, girl. Fuck you. Like I said, he wasn't petty enough. Like I would shoot OnlyFans content in this house. Fucking hella bitches. On like, hopefully your grandma left like some old furniture that got like emotional significance like left. That way I can fuck other bitches on like the sofa and like the end table. Or I just like fuck other bitches on like the dining room table where you had your first birthday party. Or you know what I'm saying? I need to hit you in like the emotional. I need to hit you in like the emotional part of your heart. Somewhere I need to hit you in like if you see me like getting head on this table, I need like, no, not that table. That's where I had my first breast or what? Who the fuck? That's where I had my 5th grade birthday party, and it was one of the happiest memories ever. And now he banging 2 Latina chicks. just fucking hilarious. Like shit like that. Like you not going petty enough. I would go hella petty. First of all, if you hear that, I have house guests. Second of all, that's not my child. That's not my child in the background. So I'm not just down here. So people won't think I'm just down here shooting a podcast and ignoring a crying infant. That child belongs to the house guest. I have nothing to do with that. So if it cries itself to sleep, it has nothing to do with me. So because motherfuckers that see shit on the internet and just run with the narrative. No, that I'm not ignoring a child to shoot a podcast in my basement that nobody is watching. Okay. I'm not a fucking crazy person. So if you hear small infants in the background, those are house guests and not my house guests, because I don't have house guests. Introvert life till I die. Okay. But anyway, on to oh shit, that's hella great. That's hella great.
Cheating.
All right, what else? Oh, this one was, first of all, no, let me hit this one first before I get on to the next one, because this woman is crazy.
And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year.
I can tell you.
That's just irritating to my spirit. As being someone, as society would say, as being someone who is poor or poor adjacent, that shit. When did $70,000 not be? When did that not become a lot of money? At least to like okay, maybe because I'm poor, like $70,000, because there's people that spend like $70,000 in like 2 days, and to those people, congratulations if you got it like that. But to some of us, $70,000 is a lot of money. Okay, and she, hold on, let me play this shit. This shit is reckless.
And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value.
So she basically went after, if you work a job where basically if your job contributes to the running of society, you're not good enough for this woman. She said mailmen, police officers, firefighters, just construction workers. That construction workers entails a whole bunch of trades. But if you are in that realm of just working, then you are not good enough for this woman. You know what I wish? I wish that everyone who saw this video, if you are in those trades and you just so happen to come across this woman, I hope, since she said mailman, I hope that her mail never makes it to the house. She said firefighters. I hope that if her car catches on fire, or a house, or fucking condo, whatever, catches on fire, that they don't come. At least not right away. Let that shit burn to the ground first, then come and put it out. If it's a house, just let it burn to the ground. If it's a condo, let it get a couple extra burns in before you put it out. You know what I'm saying? Enough to burn her shit, but not the surrounding apartments. She said police officers. So if she get robbed, or God forbid raped, or, you know what I'm saying, jumped, or maybe the police, they take the statement, but put it on the back burner, because my job ain't important enough for you, ma'am. You didn't even acknowledge that we should even be like happy. What the fuck are you talking about? I hope her trash don't get picked up on time. I hope the roads around her house are always fucked up. Sorry if you a neighbor of hers, but we punishing that bitch right there, because she talking reckless. All right. Just I don't like elitist women like this. Like, what? So you don't want. So here's what I've learned from women like this. If you work a honest 9 to 5, you are not good enough for like love at all. You shouldn't even be looking for love. Like, if you are a police officer, firefighter, pick up trash, do any kind of construction, road work, all that shit, you shouldn't even be like looking for pussy at all, ever. Like, you should be somewhere trying to flip your construction money into like owning the construction company, or like starting your own construction company. Like, everybody and their mama should be an entrepreneur. And every single person, listen to the logic that these women have. Every single person. Now, I'm gonna say this, and then I want y'all to think about if this is possible for the fucking world to even function. Okay, according to these people who think like this, everybody in the world should be an entrepreneur. Nobody should be working for anybody else. Okay? I have seen you on the podcast. I've seen you on the shows. I've seen your videos on Instagram. Okay? Especially men. Women put men, every man. No man should be working for another man. Okay? If you are a man, you should own a business of some kind. Now, with that thinking, nobody ever thinks like, okay, if everybody is an entrepreneur and everybody owns a business, who the hell is going to work for who? If everybody is people don't know how society works. That's why they're able to talk this way and sound dumb. If everybody in society is an entrepreneur and owns a business, who works for who? Who works for who? That's the one part of the logic that if no man should be working for another man, every man should be a boss owning his own business. If that's the case, then who works for who? Let's just paint the scenario. Let's say these women get their wish, and tomorrow every man wakes up a boss. Every man owns a business. Who are his employees? If no man should be working for another man, and if no man should be working for another man, and every man should be a boss and own the business and work business hours, who works for who? That's always my argument for these women's dumbass mind state, and nobody has given me an answer yet. It's fucking flabbergasting. It's also retarded because that's not how fucking economy works. Just on how it's been made throughout the fucking century, it's not gonna change anytime soon. Sorry, but this is the way it works. There are only so many bosses in the world, and I'm sorry, and those females will be even more shocked if they knew that those bosses that they aspire for every man to be, those bosses have bosses. There are so many bosses there can only be so many bosses in the world. But those bosses have bosses, and guess what? Those boss of all bosses are even fewer. So when I hear videos like this, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you want? So all of y'all okay, let's see. Hold on, let me Google something real quick. Cause let's just say I know it's not that many billionaires. How many billionaires are there in the world? All right, so according to Google, there were a total of 3,194 billionaires in the world in 2022. That's the number. So as of 2022, there was a counted number of 3,194 billionaires. Now let's say those billionaires are each a boss of all bosses. That means they are at the very top. They have bosses who work underneath them, but they are the boss of all bosses. They are the final say, period. The person who's the CEO of Disney or whatever the boss of all bosses. The people who own Google and YouTube, whatever, what's the name of that company? The Alphabet company or some shit like that. They boss of all bosses. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. These are boss of all bosses. Psychopaths, but boss of all bosses. Hold on, let me see. I can say Elon Musk. I don't know. I think Facebook has I think Facebook is owned by, but let's just say boss of all bosses. Okay. So the way females talk, they are only looking for bosses of all, they are only looking to be with boss of all bosses. Correct. We've now established, thanks to Google, that as of 2022, it might be 10 more by now. Who the fuck knows? But as of 2022, there is 3,194 boss of all bosses, billionaires, right? That's in the world. So, and trust me, when it comes to women who want a boss of all bosses, the number is way higher than 3,194. So you mean to tell me that you think that your pussy and your traits, especially you females who say, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not supporting my man, blah 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 blah. I'm not his mother, blah blah, all this other shit. You think that your pussy is better than the other millions of women who are also shooting for boss of all bosses around the world. Not just here in America. You have to compete with competition from around the world with women who know how to cater to their man and do it well. We just checked the facts. It's only 3,000 billionaires, boss of all bosses. And you have to prove to one of those 3,000s that your pussy, your one pussy, is better than the millions of women standing right beside you. 3,000 of you will win. The rest of you will be humbled. And man, I wish I could be a fly on the wall when that humbling happens. Oh, just glorious. Just glorious. All right, what else we got? Oh, this shit. How much does it take for you? How much money is enough money for you? Let's see.
An annual salary of $1.2 million. Would you dare to guard a lighthouse? No one will come to check on you while you work here. You can sleep anytime you want. Wake up and enjoy the scenery and go fishing. You need to ensure that the light on top of the lighthouse is functioning properly. Such generous benefits. Yet no one dares to apply. This is the most dangerous job in the world, guarding the Jumeau Lighthouse. It is located on the Brittany coast of France. No one will talk to you here. All you have is loneliness. What's worse is that this area frequently experiences powerful storms. Waves crashing against the tower can reach tens of meters high. Life could be lost at any moment. This photo was taken during a rescue operation. When we zoom in on the photo, we can clearly see the lighthouse keeper surrounded by waves. If the waves completely cover the lighthouse, he could be in danger. The lighthouse keeper still feels scared when recalling it. After seeing the entire process, would you still dare to go?
So would you work at a lighthouse by your damn $1.2 million a year? Would you work at a lighthouse by your damn self? No visitors, just you. You eat, you sleep, and you piss there. You can't have no sex come over. It's just you and your empty thoughts. Now, solitary confinement has already proved that being by yourself too long can drive a motherfucker crazy real quick, especially if you're an extrovert. I feel like this is the kind of job only for introverts, and not even regular introverts, like extreme introverts, like the type of people like you don't see for like 6 months at a time. Those kind of introverts. And also, you have to not care about your life because those waves, like, engulfed that white. If you saw the video, here's a description. A picture a lighthouse in your head. Now, imagine that lighthouse being engulfed by waves. That's the constant danger you're in working this job. But you get paid $1.2 million a year. All the benefits, you just have to live in that lighthouse by your damn self. I'm sure they give you like internet or something. Internet, TV, food, water, all that shit. You can go fishing and all that shit from the edge or whatever. But it's just you, and you could die at any moment. So death or $1.2 million a year. Like, also can you survive by some of y'all can't. Hey, if COVID taught us anything, some of y'all can't be by yourself, like, at all. You proven that wholeheartedly. So we not talking to y'all. I'm mostly talking to the extreme introverts. Can you, for $1.2 million, can you be by yourself? I mean, the answer is probably yes, but for a whole year, some introverts eventually like to go outside for something and talk to another human. It not even for that long, probably like half an hour, but take that half hour away. Can you do it for a year for $1.2 million and also not care about your life enough to like work at this lighthouse? Hey, for $1.2 million, hey, if I wasn't in the situation I was in, I would do it. I'd probably do it for a year. Like a year, I could knock that out. I would be, look, you listen. If I call the land like crying, just ignore me. I'm trying to get this shit out of my system, and I want somebody else to hear me. But I'll do it. I'll stay here. I'll just think about the money when I'm done, I guess. Who the fuck? Look, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. But this has been another episode of the Fast Franko podcast. I want to thank everybody who tuned in and listened to me. Very fun episode. Really, really good topics. This is going to stay up on Facebook for at least the next month. Who the fuck knows? And then it's going to be found exclusively on youtube.com/face50. Be sure to follow me on YouTube and subscribe. I am Franko the Pen. This has been another solo podcast. Who knows when the next episode of Bitchin' by the Bar will be, but a new episode of PSA from CNA will be out this Wednesday. But until then, I will see you guys next time with another episode of the Fast Franko podcast. I am Franko the Pen, and much love and peace out.